Welcome to the program on AIDS and the World AIDS Day, which is celebrated on the 1st of December every year. The theme for 2019 is Communities Make the Difference. I am your host, Purity Mukuhe. So all of us are probably infected with or affected by HIV and AIDS. And according to statistics by UNAIDS, there are approximately 37.9 million people living with HIV as of 2018, and AIDS-related deaths are around 770,000. Those are very big numbers, and to help us discuss more about this topic, I'm joined by three very lovely guests in studio, and I'm going to give them the chance to introduce themselves, starting with the one on my extreme right.
Hello everyone.
Hi.
My name is Doreen, Morancha. I am a HIV AIDS advocate. I have been living with HIV for the past 27 years. I am also the founder of a lovely initiative called I Am a Beautiful Story, which aims to reduce the stigma, give hope, and educate people on matters of HIV and AIDS.
Yeah, hi viewers. My name is Alice Kemboi. I work for KSCD and I'm a visiting counselor.
Okay.
Hello viewers, my name is Kimutai, Kemboi, and I'm a disclosure ambassador as well as an HIV and AIDS activist.
Okay, so thank you so much for making time for us today, and it is a pleasure to have all three of you on set. So let's start first of all by knowing what are the current figures on the HIV and AIDS prevalence in Kenya.
Yeah, in Kenya so far we have 1,600,000 people living with HIV/AIDS, and the prevalence is 4.1%. Yeah, living with HIV. Yeah.
Why do we have such high numbers?
There are multiple of issues which people think of, whereby one of them can be like ignorance. People think that it has been something usual. They take it so easily, and that they don't. They usually say that at the end of the day, even if they catch HIV, they will access medication and for free. Another one can be due to alcohol and drug abuse, because we'll find that especially our youths, when they get drunk, they would remember to use protection, especially when they're having sexual intercourse. Again, we also have some places whereby the information has not yet reached. So there is again lack of information. Yeah.
There is need for education on what HIV is.
More education concerning HIV and AIDS.
Okay. And understand there's a difference between the two. HIV is something different, AIDS is something different. So would you just define for us what exactly is HIV and what exactly is AIDS?
Yeah. HIV is the virus. Actually, it is immunodeficiency virus. This is the virus which causes AIDS, and AIDS is the acquired syndrome, whereby once you contract the virus, actually the beginning you find that you get HIV, then you find that AIDS, it's the advanced. It's now the disease itself.
Okay. And I think I'll have Doreen and also Kimutai address this. So what were you diagnosed with rather? Is it HIV or is it AIDS? And also for how long have you been living with this, Doreen?
So for me, I am living with the virus, which is HIV, and for 27 years, since 1992 to date. And I was born with it, which is a mother-to-child transmission.
Yes.
And my parents are a discordant couple. My mom is HIV positive, my dad is HIV negative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kimutai.
Okay, me, I came to learn that I have HIV around 4 years ago, but trying to trace back to when I got infected, it's like 6 years ago. So I was diagnosed with HIV, not AIDS. It was not advanced yet.
So it's HIV.
Yeah, it's HIV.
That's 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And so where did you go so that you can, know that you have HIV? Did you test yourself, or how did you find out that you had AIDS?
Okay, it happens that I was just well, and I was never even thinking that I might have been exposed. So it happens that I was just strolling around along the road. Then I met these guys. They asked me if I can go and have an HIV test. So I said no. They asked why. I said I'm okay. So they were like, and when did you have did you do like an HIV a test? So it has been long. So I was trying to trace back, and then they realized that it has been so long. So they asked me that it's good, I go and test. Of which I went there expecting that I was just okay. But unfortunately, I was shocked seeing the results that it was reactive and that I'm infected. So from there, it was not easy for me, because it's like I just went on a blackout mode. I never accepted. I just woke up and go. Then from there, I went and said maybe there was a problem with the stuff that they used. So I said I'll go and see in another place. So I went to about four different clinics, or 5, and the results was still the same thing.
So you went to 5 VCT centers just because you were in shock.
I was in
so
shock.
You were like, no, this is not true.
Yeah.
And maybe is that why so many people are afraid to actually go and get tested?
I think the reason is just like that we are being naive. Like if you are healthy, then it means you are not infected, or you have not been exposed to. So it's always good, irrespective of whether you are sick or not. It's good you go and test and know your status. Yeah.
And I think, Doreen, I'll have you address this. So you were born with HIV, right?
Yeah.
At what point did you decide to go public about your status, and why?
I went public about my status when I was 23, that is in 2015. But I was told about my HIV status when I was 13. That is when I was officially told by my parents and my DIC that I was born with HIV, and I started medication the same year. So I was excited. I was going to start new medication because before that we were just on Septrin. There were no ARVs, and the ones that were available were very expensive. So I was told, you're going to start this medication, you're going to take it for the rest of your life. At that moment it seemed like a very easy thing to do, but then along the way it became hard. And when I was told to never tell anyone about it, we went to test. I used to work in a wellness facility at the Teacher Service Commission. So we used to go out to different institutions, test people. And one time when we were testing, we went to this institution where the students refused to come out. So even the area where the VCT was taking place, they were not showing up. So we had to go to their classrooms to try and mobilize them to come. So when we were talking to them, we will now ask them the way the counselor asked Kemboi, have you been tested? Are you doing your HIV status? And they're like, yes. When was the last time you got tested? They're like, I have never really gotten tested, but I know I am HIV negative. So that was actually most of the responses, and some of them were like, no, I am fine, I've not done anything. So with that, we knew that there was an issue. These people don't know why it is important for them to get tested. And so when we were now when we went back to the office and we were writing reports and saying we were faced some challenges and some people not wanting to come get tested and all that, my boss knew I was HIV positive, so she asked me, Doreen, how would it feel if you talked to people about your status? Maybe it will show them that there is an importance as to why they need to know their status. So I looked at her and I was very shocked. I told her, it's something I can consider, however, not now. But then she was like, no, just try, try, you never know what impact it might bring. So at the back of my mind, I knew I was not going to do it. But then because she was my boss, I just told her, yeah, I will consider it. So during that week, she just told me, just do a write-up, give me a story, and then we can always work with it. So when I did the write-up and sent it to her, no, I didn't do the write-up. I wrote it, but then I was unable to give it to her. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. So I threw away 2 write-ups. Then I was reading this, one of the newspapers. Then I came across this really amazing story. It was not about HIV though, but it was like this hope, uplifting stories and all that. So I said, how about I just send this email to this editor? So I just typed it up on the work machine and went home. So the back of my mind, I knew this editor might not even reply. So on reaching home, an email comes to my phone and I'm like, Doreen, I've read your story. It's so amazing. I want us to do something together. So then I was shocked because I had not even told my mom that I am disclosing my status to the public.
Yes.
So I had to call her and tell her, I sent this email to this editor and now she wants to do my story. So she said, okay, no problem, because my mom is part of it's a teachers network. It's called Kenepote, Kenya Network of Teachers Living in HIV. So she told me, it's okay, there's no problem. You just go ahead and do the interview. So I went ahead and did the interview. And then they told me it's going to be shared on our online platforms, not on the print. But still, we have some really major readership there. So at the end of the interview, we had left my email. So I was like, if it's an online thing, it's even better. People are not going to read it. So when it was aired on a Sunday, and I didn't share it on my social media, nowhere, because on my social media there was nothing that indicated I was living with HIV. So they shared it on the Facebook page, and then people started tagging me and telling me the media is spoiling your name. You're not living with HIV. How come we know this lady? So I was mentioned. So I it's like I became afraid or something. So I deactivated my Facebook account for that day, and then emails kept coming in. Like that day alone, I got 1,000 emails. Just all of them telling me they're going through stigma. They have not started medication. They are taking medication, but secretly. Someone even told me they leave their medication in the vehicle. So at the boot, they have a place they're hiding. So when they come home, they pack, take the medication, get into their house like nothing is wrong. So then I realized that actually there is a problem. There is people are not talking about their HIV status anymore. Yes, the medication is there, the facilities are there, but the conversation has been left to like, as long as people are on the ARVs, they're very suppressed, we're fine. But then we are not fine because the stigma is going on, and we have self-stigma and the societal stigma. But self-stigma is the worst because it's a person going through it. You can always choose not to listen to what people say. But when it's you stigmatizing yourself, it's hard. Because that is, you're the only person to get yourself out of it. So, and as a person who had gone through self-stigma and even defaulted from my ARVs, I felt that there was a gap and we needed to address it. So that is when actually started the I Am a Beautiful Story campaign, basically just to give a face to HIV and to say that people living with HIV, HIV is not a death sentence, and there is a life after that positive diagnosis. There is hope. It's just how you choose to look at it. So, and that is what I have been doing every day, posting amazing pictures and amazing captions.
And I think the fact that you came out actually encourages other people to also come out, because they know there's somebody else who's also going through the same thing. I'm not alone in this fight.
Yeah.
And for Kimutai, at what point did you decide to go public about your status?
Okay, and so it happened that after I was enrolled on medication, it was the same year that I went to campus. So now you can imagine being in campus, you're sharing an hostel and all that. So at times I used to, my medication, it was, okay, I usually do it at 9. So at times it happens that you, at 9, you are still seated there, you're having stories, you are playing games, you're watching movies, even up to around 2. So at times I feel like, no, I'm not adhering to my medication. And then at times you are there with your friends, you are discussing things, then from nowhere a story starts. Have you seen so-and-so of late? He has been like, he's growing thin, he looks, I think he has stepped on a live wire somewhere. So it usually used to hit me, and I'm like, so now after that guy, and then I'll be next. So I felt like it was not really like a pleasant thing to hear or listen to or see. So I just decided that maybe I can share my story with them so that at least they can change how they view things. So and then it happened, and on this day they were discussing about my neighbor. My neighbor had I think he was having a different illness and he had grown thin. So and then I decided I will interject here. So I asked them, I've heard you describing a neighbor that is living with HIV. It's like he's living with HIV, has grown thin. Then I was like, so do I look like I have HIV? They said, no, you look okay. You're just fine. Then I said, and will it be a shock if I say I'm living with HIV? They said, yes, it will be a shock because you don't look like you have. Then I decided I go and I picked my medication where I used to place them. It was inside my bag and I used to lock it 24/7 because I used to fear they might access it. So I removed my medication, I placed them there, and then I asked them, now this is the truth. I'm living with HIV and I'm on medication. So they were like, no, this is not medication for HIV. I asked them, try and Google. They Googled it and the results were they were HIV medication. So from there, I don't know whether they respected me or they feared me because they just shut. Then from there, we just had that a mutual respect. No one discussed about me. No one discriminated me. Then I said, I'll now try and expand. Like apart from them sharing the same room, I think it's an opportunity also. I share my story outside there because in a way I'm trying to avoid being discriminated, and also I'm inspiring someone, or you're encouraging someone to accept himself or go and test.
Yes.
Yeah. So after I did that, then I decided that maybe I should do it online. So I started doing some writings on the Facebook. There was an amazing response. And then from there I feel encouraged and I feel like I should do it even more. Yeah. And that is why I've been so active on social media, so vocal about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think even as a society, it's our job to actually help, such people, because we can either break them or make them.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes out and they get all this judgment, then high chance is we are adding on to all the problems that they already have. And I think this is a conversation that we need to have constantly as we go on and on and on. So we're about to take a short break right now, but when we come back, we have a lot more interesting things to hear about from our specialists for the day and also from the two lovely guests that we have here. So don't go far, we'll be right back.
Looking for production equipment or pocket-friendly advertising spots? Worry no more. At KICD, we have state-of-the-art production equipment, both audio and TV, ready for hire, including OB vans which comes with a crew. Advertising spots are also available on our Edu channel. For booking and more information, contact us on 0729 327 334.
Welcome back. In case you're just joining us right now, today we are talking about AIDS and the World AIDS Day, and I'm joined by three lovely guests. We have Doreen, Alice, and Kimutai. So I'll have you, Doreen, address this. Yes, Alice. So let's talk about the different modes of transmission for AIDS.
Yeah, when we talk of modes of HIV transmission, I think the major one is sex. When I talk about sex, is when it's about sexual intercourse with somebody who is infected with HIV. There are other modes of HIV transmission like blood transfusion, and especially when one is being the operation, or maybe one is undergoing through surgery, and the blood is blood transfusion, and the blood is not screened. There is a possibility of a patient of acquiring HIV and AIDS. We have another one which is mother-to-child transmission. Under mother-to-child transmission, we have again the three major modes of contracting HIV and AIDS. One is through when the child is still in the womb of the mother, through delivery, and again through breastfeeding. Yeah. We also have sharing of needles, and especially this one comes especially a good example is through IDUs, injection drug users, especially when they are sharing same needles. You find that if one of them is infected, obviously the whole group will be infected with HIV and AIDS. Yeah, I think those are the very, very major modes of HIV transmission.
Mm-hmm. And Doreen, for you, you say it was mother-to-child transmission, right?
Yeah, for
So
me
you got
it was mother to child. Now I don't know whether it was during birth, during breastfeeding, but all I know is I acquired it from my mom.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's something that we will talk about and just get to understand the science behind it.
Yeah.
And for Kimutai, how did you get the HIV virus?
Okay, and it happened that I slept with someone who was already infected, so I got infected through sexual intercourse.
Okay.
Yeah.
And HIV is the virus, then AIDS is the full-blown, stage of the disease. So, Dr. Would you just give us a breakdown of now from the point somebody is infected with the virus all the way into the different stages and the final stage now, which is AIDS?
Yeah, as I said before, there is a difference between HIV and AIDS, whereby HIV is the virus and the AIDS now is the full-blown disease. You find that we have stages in HIV, and before we go to the stages in HIV, we still have the window period in HIV, whereby a client will go for testing, or somebody will go for testing, and this person is in window period, and he or she turns out to be negative, whereas this person still has the virus. So the window period takes 3 months. So if one goes for testing while for the first time, this person goes for testing, we normally give them 3 months. That is what we call window period in HIV. So in case this person now goes back for testing and he or she happens to turn out to be reactive or HIV positive, now that's where HIV starts. And you find that with the staging of HIV, after now the counselors in the site, in the ground, they have tested this person. We normally give them referral to the hospital, whereby there is a CCC, a comprehensive care center, whereby the CD4 will be done. So you find that the doctor will be in a position to know whether this patient is in the stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 of HIV and AIDS. So HIV actually begins from stage 1. We have stage 1 of HIV. We have stage 2 in HIV. You find that stage 1 and stage 2 of HIV, they are close, whereby you find at that stage, this person could be knowingly or unknowingly, there is no major symptoms of HIV. However, there are those very fast stages which comes between 2 to 4 weeks, whereby once one contracts HIV, you find that this person can have something like night sweats, rashes, headache, fever, something like that. And you find that these are something which are very, very common. So that's why many people will never realize that, okay, they are infected with HIV and AIDS, because once I have a flu, actually I'll go to the hospital and take drugs and it will clear. So now from stage 1 to stage 2, this one will be working with HIV without knowing, because now the very first stage symptoms, they actually disappear. Now come to stage 3, that's the end of stage 2. This person now, it's a time now, he or she starts now showing some of the major signs now. Remember, we're talking about symptoms. Now, signs in HIV and AIDS.
Yes.
Yeah, like now this person can be sick. Like you find this person has like a cough, which is persistent, like something like TB. This person can be like have typhoid, which is recurring. They can be having like they can have something like a lymph node. They can swollen glands.
Yes.
And at that point, this person is now ending to stage 3, from end of stage 2 to stage 3.
Yes.
Whereby now, when this patient or this client gets into stage 3, you find that they become more severe. And we call those infections the opportunistic infection. The opportunistic infection itself, it's a word which comes from the diseases which actually take opportunity, or they take chance when the immune system is compromised.
Yes.
Due to the virus. So you find that this person could be in stage 3. This person, most probably, he will be hospitalized like 3 to 4 times due to those opportunistic infections. So come to stage 4. Stage 4, I think now that is now where we will find now this, the HIV has really it's fully blown into AIDS. Now we call that one AIDS. We find this patient, or rather this client, is it's sick. The person could be bedridden, or maybe in a hospital, or maybe when this person is walking, you can literally tell that this person has AIDS.
Yes.
Yeah, because all the signs have blown fully. Yes.
And there's the common misperception that when somebody gets AIDS, they are dead, or even HIV, they are dead. So what really causes death when you're talking about HIV and AIDS? Is it the virus itself, or is it something else that's not the virus? What causes death?
Okay. HIV does not cause death. You find that what will kill the patient, or rather the client, or the person who is infected with HIV, it's these opportunistic infections. Yeah. So you find that if this person has reached to stage 4, you find this person maybe could be, one can develop like 4 different opportunistic infections at once. Yeah? And what can kill this person mostly, it can be something like meningitis, or maybe TB. Yeah. So if this person dies, the community, they will have that they will be seeing the TB, but not the virus. Nobody will tell whether this person was infected with HIV and AIDS. So you find that whatever has killed this person is what they can see.
Yes.
Yes.
So it is because of the weakness of the immune system.
All these opportunistic infections originate from the immune system, when the immune system is compromised due to the HIV.
So thank you so much, Doreen.
Thank you.
Daktari, asante sana. And thank you so much, Kimutai, for making time for us today. Thank you for watching the show. We were talking about HIV and AIDS. Join us next time as we hear about the journey of living with HIV and AIDS from Doreen, Moraa and Kimutai, Kemboi.